Alright, time for another draftphysics.com, debatephysics.com also, but no reasonable debate from any kind of honest person. So it's just me asserting the points over and over, and some of it's just gotten so preposterously redundant. So I have made a bunch of 5-minute videos on the kinetic energy stuff that is on the debatephysics.com website. So go there if you have some kind of argument you want to make, or you can make. In any way, defeating any of these arguments that basically point out that physics is founded on mush and nonsense. And they don't care. And smart people are just dupes, or they're just belligerently religious. They want to believe it because they want to believe it for whatever reason. They want to a wooey universe full of weird and bizarre phenomenon, a pervertiverse. So anyway, it's just terrible, pathetic. So there is a comment by a new troll. It's probably the old troll, just under a new name. So he actually wastes his time making an account called Momentum is Conserved 15, whatever that is. And it's just, the same old read from their Bible. I mean, it's not an argument that's going to be at all effective. It doesn't counter any of the dozens of arguments I've made about what evidence you have to debunk or explain away. And you won't explain, you won't debunk, you won't in any way prove, you won't link to any real evidence. So, of course, it's just kind of a waste of time, but it proves something. Okay, so I'm just saying, in hindsight, you're all proving that human beings, all these people who think, I have a above 100 IQ, I'm capable of doing something reasonable and honest. No, you're not. Okay, and this just proves it. You're just demonstrating that human beings just are compulsively religious, and they just don't give a shit about the truth. Whatever makes them more money or makes them happy, that's the truth for them. There's just nothing like integrity is at all involved. Got rid of that extra glare, which wasn't very useful. Anyway, of course there's no free momentum. So of course there is. There's more objects moving, mass moving. Okay, if you put something in and you have more mass moving afterwards with velocity, it's more momentum. It's just idiotic to say, oh, because it's going that way, the universe can figure out that it's somehow canceled in some kind of magical way. It, of course, doesn't. Explosions happen in all directions. Does that mean explosions don't cause any motion? That there's no energy or movement in the universe because this canceled that and that canceled that? I mean, it's nonsense. It's just so frickin' stupid. Again, 10-year-olds could get, oh yeah, you can't really call it, you can't play this cancellation game. All right, the reason why momentum can cancel, no it can't, is because a system will have a net momentum. Again, it's again saying, okay, the stick of dynamite doesn't work because the net momentum is zero. It's idiotic. A net direction after the collision. That is why momentum is a vector. There's no other kind of motion in the universe except a vector. So again, this is more bullshit. I mean, it's nonsense that there's something called the scalar energy. The energy doesn't know where it is or where it's going. I mean, it's just absolute crap. I mean, it is just as stupid as you explaining the Holy Ghost to me. So yes, go ahead and write in the comments an explanation for where the fucking Holy Ghost came from and what its purpose is. How does it function in the triad of bullshit. In the air track collision, Professor Lewin, I don't know, before the collision, 100 momentum goes into the system to the right direction. Car 2 comes, we already did all of this. We've done it with the 150 is even better, so a 3-mass cart makes it even more outrageous, and it only gets more and more outrageous the heavier the object is you bang it into. So the theory is that you can go all the way up to 199. So you can almost, minus one tiny percent, you can get 99% of doubling your energy. That's your theory. That's your idiotic, preposterous, nonsensical notion of reality. If I want to move something in space, well, I didn't want to pause. What do I want to do? Oh, yeah, I want to get rid of this, and I want to put the camera up. So I might as well just draw while we're at this point. But it's just bullshit. You just keep making crap up that somehow this is a viable theory. So the point is okay. So I have an X mass that's going to move, but it's so it's not immovable, but it's as close to immovable as you can get. And we could know that if I hit this with 100 momentum, and let's just say this is a 10, okay, it's a 10 mass. So this is a 1 mass. And I'm going to hit the 10 mass, and I'm going to get 199 momentums going this way. Okay, if I put a spring here, if it's elastic. So if it's an elastic or super elastic, I'll go from 100 momentums going that way to 200 momentums almost going that way, and also get a rebound of 100 for free, which I could reuse is the point, right? So I could just have that 100 bounce off a spring and hit this thing again and move it again with another 200 extra momentums. And I could just keep adding more and more momentum until the two speeds are equal. So I could get the thing that weighs 10 times as much, I could get up to the same speed as the thing weighing 10 times less that was going 10 times the velocity, and I could just get the two to equal each other by just bouncing it over and over again. And we already know that if we did this experiment inelastically, that is with the objects sticking to each other, and we stick them together in a very graceful way, we know, oh no, we're only going to get 100. Put 100 in, we're only getting 100 MV out. Okay, that's all. No extra, nothing extra. So I mean, look, you could think of this as moving a satellite in space. Say you got a heavy satellite, weighs a ton, and now I can use almost unlimited masses now because I'm in space, and I want to get it into space. Well, I could just shoot, the light object at it. All right, and I only shoot with 100 thrust. Okay, so I shoot it with 100 momentum. It leaves with 200 momentum. Well, that's a good bargain, so I shoot it again. And I shoot it again. I get up to, 400 and then 600. So I can give it all kinds of velocity and get it to a high orbit by using 1/10 of the fuel. So I don't have to actually use the amount of fuel required to actually move that much mass that distance. No, instead I can just keep throwing little things at it, okay, that doesn't cost me much at all, and I can just keep increasing the momentum. I mean, who cares that it bounces off, right? We won't even bother collecting the rebounds, and we're still going to gain a tenfold increase in energy efficiency. You think that really happens? I have to sit there and talk to adults and say, you think that really happens, and it's worth calling me all kinds of names, playing all these silly games to defend a theory that's that frickin' stupid. If I had come up with something this frickin' stupid, if that crazy Richie guy or a brozo, you'd sit there and take it seriously? Oh yeah, I can make free momentum. I can do the job for 1/10 of the energy by using physics. Bullshit, you can. Bullshit, NASA can. NASA would be doing it. If it was this simple, we could go to Mars because we wouldn't have this terrible fuel problem anymore. I mean, people are just so... This is just disgusting. And this ain't going to change until some of you people actually grow some integrity and say, okay, I got to quit defending the conventional model, and I got to force the conventional model to answer these questions because this is real. These are real paradoxes their silly physics is creating. It's not a fake paradox. It's a real paradox. It's free momentum, and that's a problem. And again, the ballistic pendulum illustrates it so clearly that obviously you can only collect the momentum. You can't collect this stupid kinetic energy because it always was a fable. It was invented by a guy who just said so. He didn't have any evidence. And then it was defended by people who did theater experiments. No credibility whatsoever. And you just sit here and defend it. Why? Why are you doing this? Why? You think you're preserving you're protecting the intelligence of mankind by defending absolute nonsense and saying, yes, we must preserve the silly nonsense. We must continue to believe the silly nonsense. Why? Why must you believe it? What critical, terrible thing will happen if you stop believing in your fake kinetic energy? What pyramid will tip over? Oh, God. People just suck. Yeah. There's nothing else to say. I just live on a planet full of suck. All right. It's like you're it's like you're in a train. The train is moving 133 momentum to the right, but you are moving G with 33 momentum to the left. What is it moving G? What does that have to do with anything? What are you even talking about? How the fuck am I moving in two directions on a train? But you are moving G with 33 momentum to the left inside the train. What does that even mean? You're not a train that's going up against gravity? What the fuck are you even talking about? Your net momentum and direction will be 100 to the right. So this is just more nonsense. This isn't a real thought experiment. How do you make any sense out of this? You are moving G with 33 momentum to the left inside the train. What does that even mean? They're real motions, okay? If I'm on the train and the train's going 133 this way and I'm going 33 this way, it's going to have to be an awful long train. So I'm not going to be on it very long. Whatever. Yes, you are doing real work when moving to the left. Your energy is not undone or canceled, but your net direction. So again, this talking about a net direction doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning. There's no such thing as a net direction for a piece of TNT. I mean, a pipe bomb. There's no net direction. You don't sit there and say, the guy didn't get killed by the shrapnel because there's a piece over there that went the opposite way, so the net direction was 0, so it never hit him. I mean, it's just nonsense. All right, is to the right, and the amount that you are going to the left is 100. That's why momentum can cancel. So it can't cancel. It's just nonsense. All right. And especially when it's nonsense in this case, when it's two separate objects. It's not one object going this way and then it goes backwards. Because that's the example you're giving. You're giving an example of one thing going this way and then going backwards. Make it two things. One thing's going this way, another thing's going that way, and then explain how there's less energy in the universe. You people are just disgusting. Okay, direction is critical for momentum. A system center mass can only go in one direction at a time. Well, that's also nonsense. So we already know that things, I can kick something off a cliff and it's going to go down from gravity and it's going to keep going this way. So yeah, it can have three. It can go three directions. The three dimensions. It can go right, it can go forward, and it can go up. It can do that. All right. It can't go in multiple directions at the same time. So yes, it can. So that's your bullshit again. So if a system... Oh, fuck. I hate YouTube. I just hate it. As a net result, matter must consider a system as a whole. No, we're already there. Where the hell was I? The center of mass, okay, represents the average position of the mass system in a system. Yeah, that's what we were, right? Whole. So, seen from the center of mass during the collision, even the individual objects change speed and direction. Now, we didn't do that. Yes, at first glance, it's counterintuitive. Okay, so it's here. So, if a system is going with 133 to the right and simultaneously, so what is this system crap again? More nonsense. All right, the system has 166 in it. Okay, it doesn't care left and right. Again, the explosion has 200 going that way and 200 going that way. You don't say, oh yes, there's no energy because they canceled. It will go 100 to the right as a net result. So it's just, again, this is just so circular. We've been over and over this. Yes, at first glance, it's counterintuitive. No, it's stupid. It's absolutely idiotic to sit there and say you can make more momentum in the same direction that you're going. that somehow you can bang into something, give it more energy than you fucking have. You can't give something more momentum than you have. That doesn't happen in this physical universe. It's absolute crap. 100 goes in and 2 cards come out with 130. We already did this. That's more than the 100. Yeah, how can that be? So you're asking yourself the question, you actually think you have a rational answer. You're going to make more momentum. I mean, it's just idiotic. It's like you have a certain amount of momentum from a waterfall or something, and you're going to increase its momentum somehow. Somehow you're going to make a bigger waterfall. I mean, it's just idiotic. The misunderstanding lies in the fact that there's no misunderstanding. Okay, that all directions matter. So again, it doesn't make any difference direction. The universe does not give a shit about a goddamn direction. The sun proves it. What, is the sun a net energy producer? Is that your jackass argument? The sun doesn't produce any light because there's photons going in opposite directions? And that you must consider the system as a whole. More nonsense. So as seen from the center of mass during the collision, even the individual object changed speed and direction. So we're not talking about an individual object, right? So we're talking about 2 different objects. One of them's going this way, one of them's going that way. They both have a mass and they both have a velocity, and you've increased it by 66%. All right, the center of mass continues moving in the same manner, preserving the total momentum of the... So just, read out of your Bible. And then the Holy Ghost ate a cracker and, choked on it, hopefully, and that's how he became a ghost, I guess. The center of mass, was calm, plays a critical role in predicting system behavior. You're not predicting anything. So keep lying about what you've predicted. You predicted nothing, okay? You have no physical evidence that this crap actually happens. You have little fucking rigged cart experiments. You don't have a car crash. You don't have anything of substance. You don't have the ballistic pendulum. Again, you collect 0.06% of the kinetic energy. 0.06%. That's the best your fucking physics can do. That's the best your lab coats and scientists can do, is 0.06% of the kinetic energy collected. You say it's there, but you can't collect it. Fact. You have no good reason to believe this fairy tale. None. All right, predicting the system behavior during the collision because it acts as a single point and represents the average position of all mass in the system. So again, it's just more baby talk. He's saying the explosion didn't explode. He's saying the sun isn't producing photons that have energy because there's opposite energy going the opposite direction. By focusing on the system is not a net zero. It's just idiotic. The sun is not a net zero producer of energy. You fucking idiot. Okay. By focusing on the point, we gain insight. No, you don't gain any insight. You just lie and talk this absolute gibberish. Okay, so fuck that paragraph. In elastic collisions, both momentum and kinetic energy are conserved. Liar, liar, liar. It's never conserved whenever the masses are unequal. Okay, so it's just a lie to say it's conserved because it's obviously not. And we've already given all these examples. 5-ton train. I add another 5 tons to the train. Okay, now it's a 10-ton train moving 1/2 the velocity. The momentum is conserved. The kinetic energy is not. So just keep lying. Okay. If you know the initial position and velocity of the center of mass, you can determine the individual object. Oh, fuck this. So 100 momentum went into a system in the right and 100 came out in the right. Now, you're just a liar. So again, it's just a lie, right? That doesn't happen. That's not what the experiment does. All right, it produces 2 objects. One object is moving with more momentum than the initial object had, and the other object's moving in the other direction with 1/3 of that momentum. So you got a bunch of free energy. According to your model, 2 carts should have 66 momentum and 1 cart should have 33. Exactly, and that's what actually happens. This means that the net momentum of the system is only 33 to the right. No, the net momentum is all of the momentum. A reflection is getting your fucking energy back. I throw a tennis ball against a brick wall. I only get back what I threw in. I don't get back more. So let's make an idealization. Let's put a spring on the tennis ball so it really comes back. All I get back is what I threw in. And your silly fucking idiotic argument is the more the wall yields, okay, that somehow I can get even more back. That somehow I can put 200 momentums into the wall. I can make the wall move with twice as much energy as I threw the ball, and I can get the ball all the way back. That's what they actually, that's their physics. And this fucking idiot is going to give me lectures on how the system works or how reality works. You fucking piece of human garbage. I mean, how dare you when your argument is so fucking stupid? I mean, they really believe this happens. So I have the, I mean, I drew this one already. I have the heavy mass that's able to move, let's say it is in space. I throw something at it with 100 momentum. The damn thing moves with 200, and I get 100 back. Now, how does that make any goddamn sense? Because again, as I stated before, all I do is put a little U-turny thing here, right? I just bounce it off something that doesn't move, okay? And I can just keep hitting it, and keep hitting it, and keep hitting it, and keep hitting it. So I can make this 1,500 momentums. I put 100 in, I get 1,500 out. That's your preposterous nonsense, gibberish, silly, too stupid for a fifth grader to fall for it theory. Oh, you people are just so disgusting that you defend this crap, and you do it as anonymous cowards, of course. According to your model, 2 cart would have 60 at 30. Okay, so that's 100 and only 33 came out. Yeah, so that's the end of his comment. Just a pile of shit. I'm just going to block you because you're obviously a sock account designed just to hide your identity and play your little turdy games. I mean, he says momentum is conserved. That's obviously not an accidental account. It's just for the purpose of typing the same fucking goddamn gibberish out of their silly Bible. He's just a little Bible thumper. Little fanatic. Fucker. Wasting my time. So nobody with a brain can show up and make an argument here. I don't even know what this Whitson guy's. This was such nonsense. I'll just get the hell out of here. It's just gibberish. Couldn't even understand the joke. Anyway, yeah, I'm really not interested in thumbs up. You know, I want arguments, okay? Or I want you to do something about it. You know, go harass some other channel. Don't be thumbing up this channel. Go to Sabine Hassenfelder's channel and force her to deal with reality. You know, that, I mean, she's sitting there debunking particle physics as being pretty much nonsense, and yet everything she believes is absolute nonsense. You know, the standard model. What a pile of crap. Oh, shit. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to... There's no point in going over and over the same shit, so there's just no point. So I have to figure out some other way. I don't know what that way is. I was thinking of a Kickstarter, right? So if I did a Kickstarter just to raise money to get a physicist to actually deal with this subject, actually do a decent experiment even. I mean, maybe we should just pay for that to put out there the you know, some kind of absolute proof. Collect more than 0.0, yeah, collect like 5% of the kinetic energy in a ballistic pendulum. You know, maybe we'll make that the challenge, because that's free momentum too. So do a really good free momentum experiment. But really the simplest one is, yeah, just a 5 mass going 10V this way and a 10 mass going 5V that way on a string. Somebody should be able to pull that one off. And that'll prove the case, because the 5 mass ain't going to win. Fact. It's not going to win the tug of war. It's not going to show that it has more energy. And you could exaggerate it. You know, you could do the 5-to-1 thing, you know. And then you could prove that it has 25 times the energy. Even that one. You know, just show some example of some mechanical system that requires 25 times the energy to spin 5 times as fast. There's just nothing's going to happen until people show up that have some integrity. And like I said, so the fact that I've had to do this for 2 fucking years, and these assholes can't even concede that, oh yeah, they probably should do these experiments. Yeah, they probably should have dropped 4 pounds 1 foot and 1 pound 4 feet and see if they have the same energy. You know, and that Eddington thing, yeah, they certainly should have done that from space by now. And they won't even say that. And the fact that these lying weaselly pieces of suck can't even concede that their physics is completely, the foundation is garbage. No evidence, nothing. Just proclamations about the existence of their God particles. And that's it. They just claim we did it. They claim it is. We proved it with crap. Can they show you the proof? No. Because it's obtuse and perverse. So, yeah, maybe we'll go back to the... That's all it is. So... Just sucks. Sucks being on Earth.